tell me why this particular jump?
All my life, you know, just like Spanky and a lot of these other stunt guys, we always looking for something tougher, and I'm 25 feet further than Caesar's Palace. Well, actually 50 feet further on the gap distance. I'm at 198 feet, and my landing ramp's 100 feet long. I don't know how far I'm going to go tonight. I'm going to get out there and make practice runs, and however I feel, I know it's going to be chilly after the sun goes down here, and I'm just going to go for it. I'm committed. You sign a contract ahead of time. This is nothing to screw around with. I've had friends killed. I've had friends paralyzed. My prayers are with them and their families, and I hope I can continue on for another 5 years.
All right, Robbie, thanks for your time. Good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
No doubt that we are all pulling for Robbie Knievel. We'll be back with Robbie later. Now let's join the action in Kissimmee, Florida, where another Daredevil will attempt a new world record. Mark Thompson is on location in Central Florida, where we know they've had some rough weather and problems with tornadoes, and we hope everything's going to be okay. But right now, you're there for all the action. Mark?
Action and a lot of tension. We're in Kissimmee, just a stone's throw from Orlando, Florida, and Disney World. Over 6,000 people have jammed the seawall to witness this world record speedboat jump by veteran movie stuntman Cord Hessler. The current record is 121 feet. Cord is confident he can break that record by 20 feet, flying over 140 feet. Now, normally Kissimmee is a sleepy Central Florida town, but this town is rocking for this world record attempt. The crowd has been gathering all day long here on the shores of Lake Toho. The scene resembles a gigantic tailgate party on an NFL Sunday. People have come from miles around just to witness this world record attempt by Cord Hessler. Earlier, Hessler and his stunt coordinator, Artie Maleshi, had hoped to try a series of practice runs. But severe winds, gusting to over 40 miles an hour, make it impossible to determine exact speeds. The wind and rough water were too big a factor in a stunt that needed exact calculations.
The worst scenario that can happen to me is if the boat blows over backwards. If a gust of wind comes in or the boat hits funny in the ramp and I go over backwards, there's nothing I can do. I'm going for a ride. The boat's going to land on top of me, and we're going to have problems.
Problems that in the past have caused serious injury to boat drivers. If the wind gets under the front of the boat lifts off, up, into the air, and then flips down on top of the driver. If Cord does not hit his ramp perfectly, the boat could roll, disintegrating when it hits the water. Hessler is 26 years old and lives in the Orlando area. He's going to attempt to break the current world record of 121 feet. His ramp is custom built, 50 feet long and 5 feet tall. It has a V shape that acts like the barrel of a rifle, a design that will help him fly straight. The launch and landing areas are extremely narrow on the lake. The audience is only 100 feet to his right. And to the left, hundreds of boats have lined up to view the world record attempt, which adds still another dangerous element to this stunt. The man in charge is Hollywood stunt coordinator Artie Maleshi. His credits range from Miami Vice, Waterworld, and Speed 2. Maleshi has been prepping this world record stunt since November, over 4 months in the planning. The goal? Well, it's for Cord to fly past the white marker, which signifies the current record of 121 feet. I'm here with Cord Hessler's stunt coordinator, Artie Maleshi. Artie, I've been telling everybody that you guys go way back. Give us a sense for that relationship and how it's built professionally.
Well, we do go back a lot of years, and we started out as just friends hunting and fishing together, and he's been in the entertainment business for a while, and all of a sudden he became my assistant. He's doing stunts, and now he's pretty much my main guy.
What things should we watch as we see the stunt unfold live here tonight?
Well, basically, there's not everything to watch. It's the boat making the jump, but it's a flat trajectory of the boat, that the front end isn't up in the air too high so that it doesn't flip over backwards.
Is that the biggest risk to the stunt?
Absolutely.
Good luck, Artie. I don't want to stand in the way of you helping Cord out. We wish you guys the very best tonight.
Okay.
It's taken 5 days to build that ramp. Tremendous planning. That's why I wanted you to meet Artie. Artie's the guy who, with Cord, has done a lot of that planning. So, believe me, Cord Hessler is not taking this lightly. His life is on the line tonight.
That's right, Mark. With so many things that can go wrong, you have to say it takes a daring man to go up against odds like that. Stay with us, because when we come back, we'll see if Cord Hessler will be our second Daredevil stuntman to break another world record.
Next on Daredevils Live, it's a distance no human has attempted to jump with a boat before. Witness Daredevil stuntman Court Hessler try the impossible. And later, he's called the King of Crash, Brian Carson. He holds the world record for auto flight, but that's not good enough for him. He wants to fly farther in a car than any man has ever done before. Then, he's the son of evil, Captain Robbie Knievel. Journey with him through the moments of impact and the moments of glory.
They're going crazy here at Caesars
When
Palace.
Daredevils Live, Shattering the Records, continues.
The U.S. Marshal who always gets his man is back.
We're going to divide up and search every house, back road, and backwater for Mr. Mark J. Roberts.
But this is no routine manhunt.
The guy works for you just like the two dead guys. I got set up from the word go.
Because no one knows
All right, heads up.
how far he'll go.
You're the great Sam Gerard, and you always have to win.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes, I do.
Wesley Snipes.
You're going to have to shoot me.
From the producers of The Fugitive, U.S. Marshals. Rated PG-13. The new chase begins March 6th.
Why is America on America Online?
You go to check your email, it's just like opening a present.
Easy to use, friendly menus. And we've been working night and day to more than triple capacity.
It puts the whole internet right at my fingertips.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Come closer. I smoke, but can you see tar stains on my teeth? Or smell tobacco on my breath? My mouthwash is Targon.
We stain tiles with tobacco tar. After rinsing in Targon mouthwash, the tar is gone.
Make Targon your brand.
Stay tuned for more Daredevils Live, Shattering the Records.
Helen Hunt is mad about Mo.
Ay, caramba.
And all new Simpsons Sunday. Is Hank's obsession tearing his family apart?
What do I have to do to get through you? Do I have to take off my shirt and dance like the women in your movies?
And all new King of the Hill Sunday on Fox.
Introducing Custom Choice from US West, a revolutionary way to buy phone service. You see, now you can get all the features you really need and your phone line too for one low price. Just choose any of our 16 features and we'll throw in your phone line, all for $29.95 a month. No more paying for each feature separately. Different people, different lives, different features, one low price. Give us a call and we'll help you make your choice.
Life's better here. US West.
It's about time and finding faster ways to take new ideas from drawing board to reality. It's about the search for methods to make machinery last longer or make a long drive seem shorter. It's about making time to look beyond the obvious. And most of all, about taking time to listen. All things change through time. Cars, trucks, and a company.
Why in the world do you want to be with someone like that?
Love triangles explode. Next, Jerry Springer.
Plumbers. If I don't make it, I'm gonna die.
Living to cheat death. But some push the envelope and their luck too far.
My God, they hit.
An all-new special with the world's worst stunt disasters caught on film. When stunts go bad too, Thursday at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Friday night, you can go out, but the real terror is staying home. So close your windows, lock your doors, and be very afraid of the dark. If you thought you knew what Millennium is about, you were wrong. Dead wrong. An all-new Millennium returns with a scream Friday.
Daredevil. Daredevils Live, shattering the records.
This is Joe Buck live from the Tropicana Resort and Casino in Las Vegas with Ron Pitts for more Daredevils Live. We're just getting ready to see Daredevil Court Hessler's attempt to jump a speedboat farther than anyone's ever gone before. Mark Thompson at Lake Kissimmee, Florida. How's Court Hessler doing?
Court Hessler is a pro, Joe. If there was anything that wasn't quite right, Court would call this jump off. He's gone through his final checklist with his stunt coordinator, Artie Maleshy. So far, everything has the green light. He'll be hitting that ramp at between 70 and 80 miles an hour, jumping 140 feet through a 60-foot fireball. It isn't exactly your everyday boat ride, but then again, some people just can't seem to do things the easy way, and I guess that's how you might describe Court Hessler. He has spent his entire life in, around, or on top of the water. Growing up surrounded by the Everglades in Central Florida, Court Hessler dreamed that he would be a stuntman. And 9 years later, that dream came true.
There's no other job like it in the world. I travel around the United States and Europe and everywhere, and it's never the same thing. Even the boat jumps.
Boat jumps were Court's specialty when he started his career at age 18 at Universal Studios in Orlando. Here, he acted out explosive fantasies, performing up to 20 different stunts every day.
You never get bored doing stunts. It gets a little hectic at times, and you know, it's just one of the things that go with it. But the payout is incredible.
The incredible experience Hessler gathered at Universal shot him onto the stunt world's fast track. Physical stunts. High falls. And car wrecks.
Let's cut.
And tonight, Daredevil stuntman Court Hessler is focusing on his first ever world record attempt, checking and rechecking every element of this stunt.
I'm constantly looking over my boat, making sure everything's okay. I'm sure I forgot something. No matter where I'm at, I know I forgot to do something. And as long as I have my lucky quarter with me, I'm fine.
It's getting close to the time when Court Hessler risks his life in a stunt no one's ever done before. And it's like Artie Maleshy is in that boat with him. Both these two guys have their lives so intertwined. We have Maleshy and Court on a wireless mic so we can hear their final words before Court attempts this world record boat stunt. Let's listen in on the sounds of this stunt.
I don't have much reverse.
That's okay, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Come ahead. Come ahead. All right, so we're doing 60 miles an hour.
60.
And change, right?
A little
All
over.
Right. Okay, you feel good about the center line? You got the lights are okay?
Everything's good. We got the lights dialed in so they're not bothering me. I'm good to go, man.
All right, man, we're gonna blow the pyro right as you're coming off the ramp, and I'll see you on the downside.
See you on the other side, bro.
Keep that white side up now. Adios.
Adios, guys.
What? We're ready.
You heard them. We're ready. We have two minute cameras on board the boat with Court, as well as wireless microphones, so you will see and hear everything as if you were riding along on this world record stunt attempt. Court must reach a minimum speed of 65 miles an hour to have a chance at the record. No one has ever jumped a speedboat off a launch ramp at that speed. The current world record of 121 feet is marked by this white buoy. We have placed an underwater digital camera at the 145-foot mark. A world record spot is marked by where the front of the boat first touches the water. Even if Court flips over backward, the spot is determined where the front of his boat hits. Emergency crews are in their place. The final cue will come from Artie.
Okay, are you ready? Are you ready, Court?
Yeah, 10-4, ready to rock and roll, bro.
All right, guys, that's a big action. Come on, here we go.
It's landing, ladies and gentlemen. Court is signaling that he's okay, touching his helmet. That's the signal. The engine has been torn away from the boat. Joe Buck, do we know, does he have the world record?
Mark, this is Joe back in Vegas, and yes, the official word is that Court has jumped 139 feet, 18 feet farther than the old world record. Ron, we just saw Court Hessler do what most people would have thought impossible. I mean, having that big crash at the end, the big impact, but having the control to maintain the boat and stop it. How do you do it?
I'll tell you what, the impact, first of all, was huge. That boat took a big hit. The double hull is what impresses me the most. It held together. It looks like Court and Artie Maleshy, they planned everything right down to the last detail. All the months of preparation paid off. Court Hessler set a new world record. He did it safely. He did it professionally. And when you set up a stunt like this, you hope and you pray that everything goes as planned, and it did.
Well, we understand that Court Hessler's coming back in before he gets back to the dock. Ron, let's take a look at the replay.
Well, Joe, obviously timing, speed, angle of takeoff, all that stuff is key. He's got to get it right. And you see he's getting his speed up right here, and it looks like he hits it right on. And if you can do that, you're halfway there. He's in the air. That's a big boat going a long way. It starts to gunnel a little bit. He's going off to the left. There's the landing, the huge impact coming up. Wow, you saw his head there just go off to the side. You could tell that impact was bad. That black thing in the back was his engine going away. I mean, he went from 60 miles an hour to a dead stop. That's like hitting a brick wall.
So as Court Hessler comes back into the dock, we know that he has family there. His mother is there. And I'm sure if you're Court Hessler, that's the first person you look for when you get back to the dock. There's his mom, the hug with his mother. He has just set the record with that boat jump. That's down in Kissimmee, Florida, while we are in Vegas, and we will be going back to Kissimmee in just a moment. Again, let's rejoin Mark Thompson.
Court and Artie, Court, an amazing ride. Were you surprised by anything? Because I'll tell you, you had our hearts and our throats on shore.
Man, that was a ride. I tell you what. Hitting the ramp was nice and smooth, but the boat kind of started dipping down to the left, and I thought I was in trouble. You know, I thought the boat was coming into the wall.
When you hit the water, you're saying the boat didn't do what you expected?
No, I went into a bad, what we call a G-turn. Just spun the boat out real quick and threw my motor off, and it kind of threw me out of the seat into the bottom of the boat. But I haven't seen the playback yet, but I think we got it.
You're about to see it. Before we see it, and the new world record, Artie, from your vantage point, was there anything that surprised you?
Oh, yeah. I was definitely surprised to see the motor go flying off the back of the boat.
That was not part of the plan,
No,
huh?
not at all. But it didn't matter as long as he was safe. I mean, it was a heck of an ending, I can tell you that.
Let's take a look at the replay, and then, Court, I want you to just take us through it step by step, what was going on in your head.
All right, this is my approach to the ramp. It felt pretty centered to me. It felt like it rode up the ramp pretty smooth.
What a shot. That was like,
Court, you owe us a camera. Unbelievable. Really terrific. What a thrill for us to see it. And it's interesting that it all happened for you in the blink of an eye, so that you perhaps thought you were in more danger than you actually were.
I did. I really thought I was way out of shape. I thought I had problems in the air, and I just tried to steer out of it, and I really didn't have to.
We know that meticulous planning went into it, but I must tell you, what a thrill. Just an instant thrill. Everybody on the land, we watched it, and it was a great, great treat. Congratulations. Court Hessler. A new world record. Art Maleshy. All the best. Congrats. Yeah. All right. That's it. Two very happy guys here tonight, Joe. Back to Las Vegas.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark Thompson. That was truly amazing. Well, that's 2 new world records, and the night's still young. We're just getting started here in Vegas and in other locations throughout. We have a very, very special introduction to make to you here tonight. Tropicana, are you ready? Are you ready? The gentleman is now known as Robbie Knievel's father, but I think we all know he is much, much more than that. The American Daredevil. Put your hands together, Evel Knievel. Evel Knievel, first of all, that is a beautiful bike. That is a beautiful motorcycle.
Thank you. That is a limited edition signature series custom motorcycle. It was made for me. It's one of 500, and it's made by California Motorcycle Company in Gilroy, California, and I'm very proud of it. It's beautiful. They're going to make about 3,000 of them.
Evil, I know that there are a lot of things that we need to talk about, but something that you want to get across to the people watching along the network, along the Fox network, about the kids out there and about how dangerous these stunts are that we're watching tonight.
Yes, I would like every child that's watching this show tonight to know that Robbie nor I, either one, and I'm sure I speak for Fox Television, we do not believe in the words "no fear." We don't believe in that. Robbie has been riding a motorcycle since he's been 6 years old. He's 36 now. After 30 years of practice and becoming the best professional jumper in the world, he now believes that he's ready to tackle something like this. I don't care whether you're skiing, snowboarding, riding a bicycle or a motorcycle or racing a car. If you have no fear, you're thinking the wrong way. You have fear, and you live a good life and enjoy it for as long as you can. Practice makes perfect, and remember, if you fall off, you're never a failure as long as you try to get up. That's what life is all about. All of you remember that.
I think you say it very well, and I wonder your feelings as Robbie gets ready to tackle a jump that you never made. I wonder what's going through your heart and your mind as your son is about to take on this jump, and how you feel now as compared to the time before you made some of your tremendous jumps.
Well, I never did jump this far. I remember dreaming one night that I might be able to jump 21, but I never ever dreamt that I might try to jump 30. This event tonight is kind of like a ski jump. If the wind is right and it catches Robbie under the stomach when he gets up in the air on that motorcycle, and he floats the distance, lands on the landing ramp over the entire fleet of limousines, he'll have done a wonderful job. And if he falls a little bit short, it's just because he didn't catch it right. A ski jumper has to depend on the wetness of the snow, the wax on his skis, and the wind. And really, when you jump a motorcycle this far, this is what you have to look out for. I wish him the best of luck. I hope Godspeed, and I wish him that he hopes he makes it.
Evel Knievel, thanks for your time, and best of luck to you and the entire Knievel family.
Thank you.
The legendary Evel Knievel. Well, you just heard a little bit from some of Robbie Knievel's support staff, his dad. We'll be back with Robbie himself, who will attempt to break his father's world record jump. But now let's hear from Kevin Frazier, who's following Daredevil Brian Carson. Kevin?
Joe, right now, Brian is checking out his car. It's a vintage 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. It's a muscle car, and inside it has a special reinforced steel cage. Now, it is this kind of cage that has saved Brian's life when stunts have gone bad, but hopefully it won't come to that tonight. Now, here's how things will work. Brian will go up this steel ramp and hopefully get enough lift to propel himself through that second pair of goalposts, and he will hit his target 300 feet away and set a new world record.
Here's the football field that Brian is going to jump over. It has been constructed in the parking lot of the Orleans Hotel and Casino. Now, not only does Brian need to split the uprights at each end of the field, while airborne, he's going to fly through a series of explosive pyrotechnics. The car that will take to the air is this Chevelle SS, custom built with a special driver's seat made for impact. Brian Carson is 40 years old. He lives in Southern California, and he's going to attempt to break the current world car jumping distance record of 298 feet. If all goes well, Brian's going to pick up speed along this 1,100-foot approach to the takeoff ramp. This is not a perfectly flat approach. There are a few bumps and dips that cause some problems as he tries to get up to 95 miles per hour. If the car follows Brian Carson's intended trajectory, it takes off from the ramp, launches into the air, and has enough momentum and altitude to carry him the distance. Then he has to hit his target between the goalposts and land in the catch vehicles, which are there to cushion his landing. To break the world record, Brian's going to need to fly past the red line that's been drawn in the catch cars. It marks his old record of 298 feet. A flag there and a marker represent 300 feet, and anywhere past that will be a new world record.
Brian also has a highly skilled stuntman who is dressed as a referee. Now, he will be right there in the end zone, and he's going to sort of referee the jump. But he will also be the first one to know if something's gone bad, because he will have to run for safety. He's the man at ground zero, the point of impact right behind the Orleans Hotel and Casino.
And the casino is the perfect backdrop to take a chance and hopefully get a little luck, because Brian has had some bad luck in the past. When a car jump doesn't go as planned, it doesn't end pretty. And when Brian gets dealt a bad hand, it can result in rolling out of control, catching on fire, or totally demolishing his car and its safety cage.
But nothing can top the event that we will see here tonight. And that's why a lot of the folks who are crowding the edges of what is left of the Orleans Hotel and Casino parking lot are a little apprehensive, because they don't know how this will turn out. As a matter of fact, no one knows how this will turn out. And you know, as I look out into the crowd, I think a lot of these folks, like I, am wondering, why would someone take these kinds of risks?
Maybe it's because he was born a thrill seeker. This is Brian when he was 16 years old in a traveling Daredevil show that performed at fairgrounds across the country. And here is Brian's first car jump. He went about 50 feet, and for safety protection, he only had on a cheap helmet and a simple lap safety belt.
I set my goal early to be the best at crashing cars at an early age. I mean, I wanted to see how many times you could flip a car end over end. You know, see how far you could accurately jump a car 50, 60 feet, or crash into another car and somersault it end over end. It just got to be a challenge. I flipped one twice. Well, next time I'm going to flip it 3 times, and the time after that 4 times, and it just grew.
His need for distance grew too. If he could go 50 feet, why not try 80? At 18 years old, he did just that. These cars were not modified at all. A single lap safety belt is all that held him in. He tried to go further and add some pyro to the next stunt. He missed the catch cars, took a tremendous impact, and ended up in the hospital.
To be very frank, looking back, I didn't have a clue of what I was doing trying a stunt of that magnitude, because I didn't prepare the car right. There was no cage in the car. I was still just using a lap belt, and even though I had a fire suit on to protect me from the fire, I really didn't know the specifics of the speeds and distances of the ramp, and I still remember pulling my arm from out of the speedometer casing in the car and seeing one bone going left, one bone going right. You know, I knew I was maybe getting over my head here a little bit. Finally, we got to where we could dial in jumping 3 tractor trailers, and that's a pretty good gap. That's over, you know, close to 200 feet. So what was next after that? Of course, after 3 trucks, you got to try 4.
Charlotte, North Carolina, 1990, Brian attempted to break the current distance record at that time of 250 feet. The car was destroyed, and Brian was unconscious for 30 minutes.
The suspension I built was completely wrong. It totally broke apart on takeoff, and the car went inverted in flight. And as soon as the car got in the air, I said, oh boy, I'm in deep caca now.
The car hit the end of the last trailer and resulted in a head-over-heels, bone-crushing roll. It took the jaws of life 45 minutes to get him out of the car.
After missing that Cadillac jump over the 4 tractor trailers, it was really a matter of pride to me. I mean, I had to come back. We went back to the drawing board and started working with the motor more, the suspension more, and really critical this time was the ramp. Now the ramp started getting major league. It was almost twice the size of our old ramp, and it was new to use it, but the only way to figure out if I had it dialed in was to go off from it.
In Brian's patented trial and error ways, he was ready to go off this ramp in front of 80,000 people at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in 1991. 298 feet, a new world record.
The first time we went off the big ramp was at Charlotte, and we were running at speeds over 80 miles an hour. And that stunt was perfect. It was the prettiest jump I ever made in my life. Everything worked perfectly. It was something I'm proud of.
And that brings us to tonight, where Brian has only 1,100 feet to reach the speed of up to 90+ miles per hour to hit that ramp and make it to the crash cars.
As far as attempting this stunt at this point in my career, I'm probably, well, I know I am the most experienced person to try a jump like this and have the most knowledge of doing it. I've done it so many times, not this distance, but leading up to this distance. The only downside for me is my age. I'm 40 years old, which is a young man, but you gotta remember it's been 10 years before I did the other jump, and my body doesn't take much to the impacts anymore. So that would be the downside, is the carnage that I'm gonna have to endure no matter how this jump goes.
So after over 2,000 crashes, Brian's body is getting ready for one more big one. Will he hit this ramp right? Will he get the speed to make it to the crash cars on the other side? There's one big red line across this football field waiting for him.
Joe, tonight, Brian Carson hopes to set a world record in distance jumps. He's getting into his car right now, so we are just moments away from his world record attempt.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. Well, this is Brian Carson just a little while ago taking the long walk down to a waiting limousine, which will take him over to his Chevelle. Kevin told us that Brian is extremely pensive and anxious to get this stunt underway.
Yeah, Joe, you know, people started gathering early in the day to witness this, one of the most spectacular car flying stunts that's ever been done. And I got to tell you, I can't wait to see this thing happen myself.
As for Brian, he's proved the skeptics wrong too many times before. But there's always the underlying thought that there will be a stunt that he never recovers from. It's quite a thought to think that that Chevelle is going to fly as far as a football field. And as Brian's limo drove up earlier, the crowd just went crazy in anticipation of Brian breaking a world record distance jump. So right now, we take you back to Kevin Frazier.
Brian Carson will take his Chevelle through its approach run, and he needs to achieve a speed of between 95 and 100 miles per hour. Then he'll launch his car off the ramp, and hopefully he will fly over 300 feet, make history, and set a new world record. Now remember, he only gets one crack at this thing, so the speed and the alignment have to be perfect, just in case paramedics and safety personnel are standing by.
The paramedics have told us that it's a 12-minute drive to the closest emergency trauma center in the event Brian is seriously injured. The fire department is equipped with the jaws of life in case the car is so crumpled that he can't get out. There's about 10,000 people gathered here in this parking lot, and this crowd didn't have the benefit of seeing all the previous Carson jumps and crashes that we showed you earlier. I really don't think they know what to expect. Brian's taking a final look over at the playing field. His crew members told me he always carries a towel with him up to the top of the ramp and throws it when he's ready to go. This crowd has been waiting around and is really getting geared up. Brian is ready now and getting into his car. He needs to crawl into his roll cage. His crew helps him get situated and strapped in. At the other end of this field is waiting this ominous pile of crash cars, double stacked for extra cushioning, because Brian feels like he's going to hit this set of cars harder than he's ever hit any other set in his entire high-flying career. There's a referee on hand to let us know if the field goal is good, and he will be signaling if Brian is off to the left or right. We've all seen a lot of field goal attempts come right down to the wire for a nerve-wracking ending to a football game, but this is no game. For Brian Carson, this is life or death. Brian's backing all the way up to the wall. He needs every inch to get the speed he needs. Brian's taking a practice run to make sure his engine doesn't misfire and that everything is in working order. It's not a perfectly flat run up to the ramp. There are a few small dips that Brian needs to negotiate. Even off a small dip, he could catch air and have difficulty steering. He's also making sure that the wheels will be perfectly aligned to the ramp. There are 60 catch cars waiting for Brian, and of course the red line that marks his old record of 298, and 2 feet further, the 300 mark, which he's trying to pass. Joe, Ron, are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah, we're ready. Don't worry about that. That isn't the question. They keep talking about those crash cars being a cushion.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why and how that represents a soft landing.
Well, I guess now it's time to find out. Let's go back to Kevin.
Well, his practice approach seemed to go well. I saw him give a thumbs up to a couple of his crew members, now backing up to the wall. We've said before, he needs 1,100 feet of runway, and he needs every single foot of that space if he's going to complete this record-breaking jump. Brian also told me that when you see him tightening up the gloves, that means he's ready to get after it. He shifts into gear, a look from our end zone camera, and it looks like it's all clear, guys. There he goes. He has done it, and the referee signals that it's good. He passed the line by at least 15 feet. rushing in now to check on Brian's condition. Look at that, at least 15 feet past the red line. Don Latry is now opening the cage and trying to find out how he is. Doesn't look like he's moving at all.
Need some oxygen. Brian.
Kevin, is he all right?
Yet on Brian Carson's condition. The jump seemed to go perfectly. His crew is rushing to the car. We still haven't seen a signal from Brian that he is okay. Let's take a second and take a break for a commercial. As soon as we find out some information, though, we'll let you know.
This program, parental discretion is advised.
Well, we are still waiting on the condition of Daredevil stuntman Brian Carson. And while we wait, Ron, let's take a look at the slow motion replay, see where the stunt went wrong.
Let's check it out here. Now he's heading toward the ramp. He's got to get a lot of speed up. Remember, he's going to try to go over 100 yards. Now, he's up in the air here. You can see the pyrotechnic explosions going off. He gets the car airborne, and I tell you what, he's got to have a lot of speed to get that thing up there. He's over. And that's one camera that's getting ready to get completely wiped out. You can see from this angle, you can really appreciate the distance he's got to go. We're talking about 100 yards, and then he's got to be straight. He's got to come right through the goalpost, and he does that. Now, coming up here, you see he's got the good distance. You're going to see a red line pop up. Now, that will represent the old the Charlotte, North Carolina record mark right there, at red line of 298 feet. Now, to me, I think he goes at least 15, 20, maybe 25 feet, Joe, past that. But the question is right now, how's he doing?
And to answer all of our questions right now, let's go back to the Orleans Casino where crews are still working on the wreckage. Kevin?
Thanks, Joe and Ron. During the break, they got some oxygen to Brian. Apparently, he had been knocked unconscious. He'd been out for a few minutes, and now he's back, and he is just hearing for the first time that he has broken the record.
Did it. It's over 3.
As you can see, Brian's still a little wobbly as he exits the car, but that's to be expected after surviving a 90-mile-per-hour car wreck. The crowd waiting for Brian to pull off his helmet. He does, and they let him know that he has just set a world record. Crew member Don Latry is going to make the official measurement from the 300 mark to the initial point of impact. Here's the slow motion replay to officially document the world record. Past the 300-foot mark by 14 feet. Now they're saying 314 feet and 3/4 of an inch is the official measurement.
Brian, incredible jump. You set the new world record, 314 feet. Everything seemed like perfection.
People don't realize how much work it goes into this. Months of work for a flight of 3 or 4 seconds in the air. It couldn't have been better. I mean, no one knew what the outcome would be until he launched off the ramp, even myself. So I'm a happy camper right now, I'll tell you that. I mean, for me to come out in one piece was a goal. But the second to set the record on top of it, it tops it off.
Let me ask you about approaching. Did everything feel right?
Well, I'll tell you, we had limited space out here. We only had 0.2 of a mile going to the ramp. And even though we built the car to try to get the speed, I didn't know it until I came to the ramp the final time. About 50 feet in front of the ramp, I knew I had enough speed to get over through the goalpost, but I didn't know I had enough for the record. I just floored it and hung on. It flew like a bird.
Well, tell me about that. How does it feel when you're in the air, the pyrotechnics are going off, and you're flying?
On this particular jump, when I got in the middle of my flight, I felt like I could pull back in the steering wheel and kept going up in the air. It felt like an airplane. It really did.
Watch the impact and explain it to us.
Yeah, this kind of gives you a view at home, big time, how the impact was. That was a pretty hard hit, but it worked perfectly the way we designed to come in flat and just crunch through the cars and make it as soft as possible for me.
Brian, let's all get in and go for a ride with you and explain this to us.
Okay, it's hammered down. I'm watching my speedometer. I think right here at 60, then 70, then 80. And here's about the point. There's no turning back, and it's just hammered down. We're just approaching the ramp coming up, and here it is. And I'm just hanging on for your life because I don't know what's going to happen. And bam, we're down. A good day at the office for me.
Great day at the office. A little bit of luck, but a lot of skill. Brian Carson, the king of crash, eclipses his old mark of 298 feet. 314 feet. We're not going to forget those 3/4 of an inch that he goes to set the new world record. An incredible night here at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. Right now, let's send it back to Joe and Ron at the Tropicana.
All right, this is Ron Pitts. We're back here at the Tropicana Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, where we just witnessed stunt history. 3 record-breaking stunts, and of course the best one is yet to come. Everybody knows who that is. Robbie Knievel getting ready to jump 30 limos. Let's hear it for him, folks. Now Robbie's father, Evel Knievel, of course, a household name when it comes to this kind of thing. He holds the current record of 20 limos. Now, it's easy to say you're going to jump over 30 limos, but I don't know if you quite have an idea how far this is. Let me take you on a little walk here. You can look behind me and see the distance. It looks a lot different up there than it does down here. Robbie's going to be airborne this entire distance. I mean, we're talking about a distance a football field long. I mean, that's some serious guts right there. Now, Robbie will be jumping over these 30 limousines provided to us by Beltrans Limousines. Now, that's a big order, but Beltrans, biggest limousine company in the nation, so they took care of it. Now, I got to tell you, that's 200 feet of luxury, but for Robbie, he's not going to be worried about that, because once he hits that ramp here, as I walk down to the landing ramp, you can see he's going to be looking at nothing but that landing. That's all he's concerned with, and I got to tell you what, Joe, when you look at it from down here, it is a long, long ways.
Right, Ron. Well, now we've got Robbie Knievel on the Las Vegas Strip, just minutes away from his world record attempt. I've been waiting to do this for days. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the man Evel Knievel calls the world's greatest daredevil, his son, Captain Robbie Knievel.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here with the Tropicana and live for the 2-hour Fox special. After 27 years, I've broken all my father's records, and I've set a lot of my own records, and I finally conquered those fountains at Caesar's Palace 9 years ago. Some people say I'm the best at what I do, but it's only because I had the best teacher in the world, a man who created his own sport, my father, Mr. Evel Knievel.
What's that?
After looking off these ramps for 27 years, it's now a privilege to be back here attempting the longest jump I ever have in my career for some of the wildest people I've found around the world, right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I have a lot of jumps planned for the future. We all take risks, but there's positive risk and negative risk, and I'm happy about the professional athletes and sports enthusiasts around the country that bring class back to their sport and take a positive risk for our children. That's all we can do these days. There's a lot of extreme sports, and all we can do is take a positive risk for our kids. I also have seen a lot of great stunts tonight on the show. I have a lot of stunt friends that have been critically injured or killed, and my prayers are with them and their family. And I hope that for 5 more years that I can continue to be the best that I am, to keep the name Knievel the most famous on 2 wheels. Bell Limousines, you got a lot of guts, because I'm going for it. Hope to see you after the jump. Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie, and good luck. We will be checking in with Robbie in just a few moments. You can tell as soon as Robbie entered the arena, you could feel the drama just heighten here at the Tropicana. Well, the time is drawing near. We are just minutes away from Robbie's world record attempt, so stay with us.
Up next on Daredevils Live. 30 years ago, America watched as Evel Knievel attempted a motorcycle jump on the Las Vegas Strip. The results were bone-shattering. Now, it's Robbie Knievel's turn. Stay tuned for a world record distance attempt. Plus, discover what happens when his stunts go good and when his stunts go bad. When Daredevils Live, Shattering the Records, continues.
Phone Patrol from 1-800-COLLECT.
Attention, citizens! I've got big news! 1-800-COLLECT is now 10 cents a minute every evening!
Whoa, 10 cents a minute, that's cheap!
Yep, 1-800-COLLECT, you'll save so much you can buy a new hairstyle, Sonny.
I never thought collect calling could be so inexpensive.
Isn't saving money fun?
1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening, all week long.
Love lobster? Dive into Lobster Fest at Red Lobster with the lowest Lobster Fest prices in 6 years. Delicious appetizers like lobster pizza, mouth-watering double stuffed lobster, plus all your favorites. So come on, get cracking. You don't want to miss Lobster Fest at Red Lobster, because life on land is dry.
Robin Williams, Matt Damon, in the film Newsweek calls sensationally appealing. Siskel and Ebert give it 2 big thumbs up. And now it's been nominated for 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year, Good Will Hunting, rated R. Now playing.
Hey, bubblegum blowers. Now the flavor of extra classic bubblegum lasts longer than ever. So you can enjoy blowing lots of extra bubbles. Try extra classic bubblegum. Why? Now the flavor you love lasts longer than ever.
Bailey's been sober 9 months, but that could change.
Just take one.
In 1 instant.
You can handle it.
An all-new Party of 5, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central.
He's the son of Evel, Captain Robbie Knievel. His world record attempt is next on Daredevils Live, Shattering the Records.
Looking for the perfect apartment? One with great amenities and low energy bills? Then look for an apartment that features Washington Water Power natural gas heat, water heat, even a gas fireplace and natural gas appliances. Homes and apartments with natural gas appliances are more comfortable and give you lower energy bills than rentals without gas. So if you want all kinds of comforts and low energy bills, visit one of these apartments. For lower energy bills, always ask for Washington Water Power gas heat and water heat.
He rolls back to pass, sees his man over the middle. Oh, right off his fingertips. 4th and 2, and here comes the punting team.
The punting team? What's up with that?
What's going on with this
What's going on here?
Yo, it's me. Go for it.
I don't know what got into the coach, but now they're going for it.
Life as usual, only better. Now at $6 million. There's a reason to play.
Hey, have him go for 2.
Yeah.
Dear Mama, it's 3 months since I left Drysville, our town without milk.
I've seen the world, and now know cereal is not meant to be swallowed dry. Brownies aren't doorstops. People actually eat them. I'm not coming back. I can no longer live in a town that holds no milk for me.
What's wrong, Mother?
He's drinking straight out of the carton.
A
Attention. It's sweeping the nation, and for a limited time, the Appleway Automotive Group's one-price test market experiment going on now. A hassle-free one-price automotive sale. Special pricing, low financing, the biggest selection of new and used. Appleway's one-price test market experiment. Top dollar for your trade-in. Bank reps on hand for special financing and leasing. The Appleway Automotive Group's one-price test market experiment.
Appleway is the right way. Shop Appleway first.
Going on now.
Why in the world do you want to be with someone like that?
Love triangles explode. Next, Jerry Springer. Next on Fox 28.
Welcome back to Daredevils Live, shattering the records.
We are back live at the Tropicana Resort and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip, where Captain Robbie Knievel will attempt a new world record motorcycle jump.
Well, you know what, Joe? He told me something real interesting last night about approaching the ramp. He's got to come at it at about 90, 95 miles per hour, but the guy does not use a speedometer. He doesn't want to have the extra weight on there. And the way he knows how fast he's going, he just listens to the bike. He feels the whine of the engine. That's big time. You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, and it comes from a lot of experience.
Absolutely. I mean, he's designed his takeoff ramp to give him just enough lift to propel him over the 30 limos. Now, he's got a 500 horsepower bike. That'll give him the required speed of about 95 miles per hour minimum, and he's hoping that'll be enough to get him to the other side of the limos. Now, Robbie told me last night again, the point of no return on this thing is going to be about 200 feet from the starting ramp, meaning that once he gets inside that cone, he is fully 100% committed. Wiping on at that speed could definitely be fatal. Now, there's some other risks also. If he can't stay airborne for the entire stretch, he could crash into the limos. Everyone knows that. Veering off to the side, not good also. You're coming down on sheer concrete. If he overshoots the ramp, it works like a pogo stick effect, and it bounces him all over the place. We've seen one of his jumps where that went wrong. And of course, coming up short, as they say, he hits the edge of the ramp. That's equally hazardous. You know, either way you look at it, Joe, this jump is not for the faint-hearted.
You've got to be some kind of risk taker to even try this, but we know one thing. Captain Robbie Knievel is definitely made of the right stuff. In the 1960s and 70s, the name Evel Knievel was synonymous with outrageous, death-defying motorcycle jumps and stunts. But there was another Knievel waiting in the wings. At a practice field near Buffalo, New York, 9-year-old Robbie Knievel got onto a 160 Harley Davidson that was 3 times his size and performed his first motorcycle stunt. Not bad for a kid, but Robbie's jump soon took on a more adult look. 4 years later, at the age of 13, Robbie Knievel cleared 5 vans in a motorcycle jump and began his professional career as a daredevil, following in his father's bike tracks. Robbie always dreamed of breaking his father's records.
I wanted to be the best in the world, but I never knew I was going to be jumping the distances I am today and having other stuntmen say, nobody can touch Robbie.
Robbie started breaking other people's records almost immediately. The legendary Evel Knievel's best was better than the others. 1968, Evel Knievel attempts a jump over the fountains at Caesar's Palace. It was an unprecedented event covered by network television and watched by an audience of millions. Knievel takes off the ramp badly, loses control on landing, and slams into concrete pavement. He broke half the bones in his body and ended up in the hospital for 2 months. Evel's now passed on the torch to Robbie.
I am not the greatest daredevil in the world. I am the father of the greatest daredevil in the world.
Captain Robbie Knievel got his first chance to do better than Dad at Caesar's Palace in April 1989. He was back in Vegas, where his father wiped out 20 years before.
Caesar's Palace. Robbie Knievel, the first person
I think what boosts me is, ever since I was a little kid and said to myself, why I wanted to do this is because there was 50,000 people in the stands cheering me on. And I said, man, this is what I want to do for a living.
Hot on his building success, Robbie made a name for himself jumping over a head-on moving car at the Houston Astrodome. Set a new world record for jumping trucks in July 1991 in Salt Lake City, 171 feet. And then there was this heart-stopping no-hands jump at O'Malley's Corner in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I've been really lucky. My dad used to sign happy landings. I signed lucky landings.
Even with all the luck in the world, Robbie's spine-tingling stunts sometimes ended in bone-crushing wrecks. At Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii, Robbie lands short. His back wheel clips the front of his landing ramp, flipping him off his bike at 88 miles per hour.
Bike threw me forward. The bike did 2 flips, and a piece of inch plywood or 3/4 inch plywood was completely up in the air. And I laid there and got my breath back and sprained my back, and I came back the next night and did it no hands because I knew what I did wrong.
Atco Speedway in New Jersey, Robbie jumped 180 feet but wiped out on impact.
All I saw was the pavement coming at me going way past the landing ramp. And I was, as high as the telephone poles, and I just started grinding my teeth, and I just hit, and it just sprung me off the bike, and I broke my fibula, my outer ankle, and I ended up with a concussion. They had to put me to sleep to get the pavement out of my rear end. So I lucked out.
Then a near-fatal jump in Los Angeles, California.
I believe that I have a meaning in life, like all of us. So, I think my meaning is to be the guy in red, white, and blue like my father was, who entertained so many kids that looked up to him. And he had a charisma. He had an entertainment about him. He was a stunt guy. He was a daredevil, and he was the best at what he did. And he created his own sport. And I loved it so much and looked up to him like a superhuman. I got in the business at such a young age. I feel like I have that meaning, but for the kids of today, and plus his fans can still watch me.
Well, Ron, Robbie told me that he does not have a death wish, and he hopes to live forever. And he's managed to not have had a serious injury through 26 years of professional jumping.
Yeah, but I tell you what, in a few minutes, he's getting ready to make the jump of his life. And now, you just heard the explosion. He's doing the family tradition wheelies. And I tell you, those wheelies now, that's part of the family tradition of Evel Knievel started, so he does it, and it's a good way for him to warm up as well. He likes to really get into it, get a feel for the bike, get the crowd going. He says, hey man, I'm an entertainer also. This just isn't about me coming out here and jumping. I like to get the crowd into it.
Absolutely no doubt about that. So many elements to worry about. You have to worry about the weather. He talked to us about the temperature of the pavement and how his bike reacts to the pavement.
Right. Last night we thought because of the rain that he was going to have to change things with the ramp and the wind and all that, but the wind died down. There's no rain, so he won't have to make any adjustments. One thing you might want to look for when Robbie takes off, as soon as he leaves the ramp, if his front wheel is too high, he said, I'll have to adjust it. I'll have to cut the bike, as they call it. The way he does that is he stops the back tire, and that stops the centrifugal force of the back tire, and it noses down the bike just enough to make him fly even.
Folks, in a moment, we'll be right back as Robbie Knievel gets ready to break a 30-year-old record held by his father as the great Evel Knievel looks on. The question now, can he do it?
This is for my grandfather, who always said I'd make the family proud. For my mom, who never let me out the door without my homework. For my dad, who worked the night shift to make our lives better. For myself, for my future.
Singer takes pride in his appearance, gets along with kids, respects the wedding guests.
One more outburst, I will strangle you with my microphone wire. You understand me?
And sets the mood for young lovers.
Love stings?
Adam Sandler is the wedding singer.
Good wedding singer.
Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Tortilla chips, the loudest taste on earth.
You were going to try the patch, but you didn't. You were going to try the gum. You didn't. And you're still smoking. It's time to see your doctor about totally different ways to help you quit. Not a patch, not a gum, but prescription medicine that can help separate you from your cigarettes. Ask your doctor or call 1-888-959-STOP. And finally, break free from smoking.
New Hot Pockets Pizza Minis. The crispy mini with big pizza taste. Hot Pockets Pizza Mini. Have a real crispy, real pizza taste right from the microwave. Hot Pockets Pizza Mini. The crispy microwave mini with big pizza taste.
My Aunt Leona called. She was throwing a party and she sprung a leak.
Meet the man who didn't send the money Western Union.
I figured, what difference could it make, huh?
And the heartbreak it caused. Later tonight.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
My father always said, don't brush your teeth too hard. But I want to do a good job.
Introducing the Pro Care brush from Mentadent.
Now he's got something new. And I'm thinking, I've never seen anything like it.
Only the Mentadent Pro Care brush has a fully flexible handle, so you can be more gentle on your gums, like dentists recommend.
Because the handle of the toothbrush gives. I knew I wasn't brushing too hard.
Plus special bristles, clean teeth, and massage gums.
Somebody thought more about how to make a toothbrush.
The new Mentadent Pro Care brush. Brush smarter, not harder.
Did a writer predict the Titanic disaster?
A 70,000-ton ship hits an iceberg and sinks?
And all new beyond belief. Then be afraid, because if you thought you knew what Millennium was about, you were dead wrong. An all-new Millennium returns after Beyond Belief, Friday on Fox. The special that exposed magic's biggest secrets is back. Plus, you won't believe what else we'll show you in the all-new controversial Magic Secrets Finally Revealed 2 next Tuesday on Fox.
We are back live in Las Vegas at the Tropicana as Robbie Knievel revs his engines. And it's time now for the practice runs as he gets ready for his record-setting jump. 30 limousines over 230 feet. And it's time now for Robbie, Ron Pitts, to get familiar with this track and with this run.
Now, he took about 5 or 6 good speed runs in practice this afternoon. The bike sounded like it was sputtering. It almost sounded a little rich on the high end or the low end of the carburation. I went over to him. I said, what's happening with the bike? Doesn't sound good. He says, we're at 2,000 feet elevation. We got to redo the carburation. The thing that could wipe me out the fastest is if I hit that takeoff ramp and I'm sputtering or I'm mishitting on the pipe because the carburetion's not right. He said he feels that's the only thing that can keep him from making this jump. That's the worst thing that can happen to you, to have something mechanically go wrong as you come off that jump in midair.
We've talked about it already a couple of times. The weather has been so strange the last couple of days. Yesterday, Robbie was going to make a practice run. The wind was just whipping into the face, right into the face of this jump. Then we had rain earlier today. The wind has picked up as we've gone on here tonight. So really, it's been a constant change with the weather, something he's going to try to have to gauge, I would imagine, right up to the last second.
Yeah, but you know, a bike like he has likes to run in this type of weather. It's cool, it's crisp. That's ideal, an ideal position for him. Now, all he has to worry about, and for people watching this, one of the things you might want to look at is what happens to him as soon as he leaves the ramp. You'll have a pretty good indication as he takes the speed run right there and veers at the last minute. You'll have a pretty good indication, Joe, of how this jump is going to go. He told me he felt like the speed part of it wouldn't be a problem. He feels like he's got enough speed to clear it. But the attitude of the bike, keeping that front wheel somewhere in between level and about 45 degrees. He gets any higher than 45 degrees, he's got a problem because he's going up too high and he's scrubbing off distance.
I have to ask you this, Ron. It's going to happen quick. When he makes the jump, it will happen really in a matter of seconds. But if you're watching this either here or at home, is there something to look for to give an indication whether this jump is going well or if it's not going well at all?
Two things: is the bike level as he takes off of that jump. Now, he can cut it like I said earlier. He can stop the centrifugal force with the back tire. That will cause the bike to nosedive a little bit, and he can level it out so he can fly far and not high. Next thing is he going in a straight line? If he comes off that thing a little crooked, well, we've already talked about that. You know, you got the limos down below and you got concrete to the left or right of that. He wants to go straight, he wants to go pretty low, and he wants to go far.
Again, to recap, Robbie Knievel is about to make a world record-setting jump, and he's going to take care of two records at once. The world limousine record, which had been held by his father. He will attempt to jump over 30 limousines at a distance of over 230 feet. These are practice runs he's making.
We talked about it earlier. He's got that point of no return, that commitment line. It's exactly 200 feet from the start of that takeoff ramp. He said, once I get in that cone, regardless of how I feel, I've got to go through with the jump, because trying to abort at that distance, that close to the ramp at that speed, you don't have a choice.
I got to tell you, I'm new to this world, and talking about stunts, having a chance the last couple of days to hang around Robbie Knievel, so at ease, so calm.
Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing. I would imagine you'd be a nervous wreck in the time leading up to this jump. He was as collected as you could be when here tonight, in the next couple of minutes, he's going to risk some very serious circumstances.
You know, it's funny when you talk to the all-stars or the superstars in football or baseball, the top-notch guys are really cool and calm before the big games. You notice they're unusually together, and they're not nervous, and they're just ready to go. And you see he gets, and that's the way Robbie is. Now you see he's on top of that pre-takeoff ramp, I should say. And that's one thing he was a little bit worried about. He says, I'm always starting off in tight positions. And I got to get, number one, I got to go through my gear pattern. He's got a 5-speed bike. He's got to go through 5 gears and be at full speed before he hits that ramp.
So yet another practice run for Robbie Knievel, and as you might imagine, I would imagine with all of the circumstances surrounding this jump, there's this ambiguous feel. You have to have the right feel before you head down that ramp, knowing that this is the one where you're going to try to jump 230 feet.
Yeah, he said he's gone into a jump and he's planned to take 4 passes, and he's ended up taking 7 passes because each time it just didn't feel right. And let's face it, this guy has got 2 things. He's got the bike, and then he's got his heart.
Silence reigns here at the Tropicana. As we look at yet another practice run, so here we are over 3 practice runs, and he said last night he's expecting 3, but as you said, doesn't know how many it'll take to get the right feel.
Right, it's just that feeling. And you look at Robbie's bike, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, you know, the suspension, what does it take to carry something like that? He went over and gave Dad a little dap there. The suspension on this bike is about as stiff as you can possibly make it. In fact, it's all custom made for him. When he hits the ramp,
pick it up. You're gonna fly it, buddy. Stay focused. It's all yours. Pick me up there. I love you. We'll be there for you. On the other side. You gonna go now? I'm gonna pull on the takeoff ramp a little bit.
This looks like the one.
Do it.
Just one more look at it.
Well, at times he wants to take that real-time look there to see exactly how far he's going to have to go, what it's going to look like. I got to imagine he's going through a lot of visualization right now. And earlier, Joe, just to finish up on what I was saying about the suspension, he wants it as stiff as possible. When he hits the ramp, he doesn't want a pogo stick up. Because like we said, you go up, you're losing distance. He wants to keep it firm and go out.
The crowd here at the Tropicana still waiting for the world record attempt by Robbie Knievel. The distance of 230 feet. And 30 limousines here in Las Vegas.
Joe, the wind doesn't seem too bad, but I noticed it's picked up a little bit in the last 20-30 minutes or so. Doesn't appear to be a crosswind, which is the one that scares them the most.
The thumbs up from Robbie Knievel straight to the camera, which he told us yesterday. Once you see that from me, believe me, I am committed to this jump. We'll see if that does indeed happen with this run at the 230-foot jump. records. Tremendous.
Drew, now what did he do? I thought he made it look easy. He said he thought he had the distance, the speed. He just wanted to stay straight. And you saw he kept the bike level.
Another look.
See, look at the bike. You see that front wheel? It never really went too high. He never got pogo sticked up in the air. He was able to go out, and that was the difference right there. But we talked about the takeoff right there. He had to be in good position. The bike had to be level, and you can see he stayed straight. He's not off to the side. He's right in the middle of the ramp. That is a perfect landing. It looks to me, and he may say otherwise, it looks to me like a perfect jump.
He just cleared the limo, set a world record, beating his father's 30-year-old record. This crowd here at the Tropicana going crazy.
I coach a soccer team. I like to play with them. I couldn't keep up. I knew I had to lose weight. And I've just lost 26.5 pounds on a Slim Fast plan. The can is just real convenient. You take it, you pop it, and you drink it. Slim Fast just really tastes good. And I was surprised at that. It's not just a diet drink, it's an energy drink.
23 vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, fiber, all the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
When I'm running on the field with the kids, I can keep up with them. Like, I'm okay.
Slim Fast, balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
It's great.
Right now at Payless, when you buy one pair of shoes, you get the second pair at half off. All men's, women's, and kids. The Payless Shoe Source buy a pair, get a pair half off sale. Doesn't it feel good to pay less?
The free ride, invented by nature, perfected by Greyhound. Just buy a ticket on Greyhound and a companion can ride along for free, making it easy to grab a friend or family member and go wild.
Right Incorporated. Oh, hi, Mr. Wright.
Sure, just 1 minute.
Hello, everyone. I've had to cut my vacation short. I'll be in the office in 10 minutes. See you then.
Ericsson mobile phones. That's the power of voice.
I just love doing that.
Stay tuned for more Daredevils Live, Shattering the Records.
Did a writer predict the Titanic disaster? Beyond Belief, Friday on Fox. This Friday night, be afraid. Because if you thought you knew what Millennium is about, you were wrong. Dead wrong. Millennium, Friday.
Eileen, I reckon it's time I go into town and get us a new vehicle.
All right.
Leyland, what has gotten into you?
I don't know, but I like it.
Car care projects stretching your budget?
Come on, let's work together. Because Shucks understands every car, truck, wagon, or van.
Shucks saves you time and money because we've got the know-how and the low price guarantee. Like Quaker State Motor Oil, just 89 cents a quart after mail-in rebate with case purchase. Shucks.
Let's work together.
In a city on the edge of darkness.
What is happening here? Why is everyone asleep?
On a night that never ends.
Asleep now. Who are they?
John Murdoch's search for a past.
They set you up with a fake identity.
Will lead to a future.
You are the subject of their experiment.
Beyond all imagination.
We all are.
Dark City.
Opens Friday, February 27th at a theater near you.
Gordon is way behind. Stick a fork in Jeff. He's dumb. What is he thinking? Holy balloon!
That's gotta hurt.
What could possess a man to drive like that? Gotcha. He's making his move backward. Gordon wins!
We gotta get him a cup holder.
Pepsi, Generation Next.
See Pepsi displays at your local Rosars for discounted Silver Mountain lift tickets.
tonight on Fox 28. Write it down.
Sunday, Academy Award nominee Helen Hunt is mad about Mo.
He's got this insecure, sweaty charm.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
And all new Simpsons. Then is Hank the born king of the hill?
What do I have to do to get through to you? Do I have to take off my shirt and dance like the women in your movies?
An all new episode. It all begins Sunday at 8, 7 Central. You like physical comedy?
Just turn around and spread them. It's easy.
No, Doc, we're not going to play the crying game in here.
Watch Damon coming to Fox in March.
We are live at the Tropicana Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, where Robbie Knievel has just set a new world record for a motorcycle jump over limousines. Easiest question I've ever asked. How do you feel?
I feel great, man. I always got to say something to the people. The devil never did a damn thing for me, never will. Keep believing in Jesus Christ. God bless you, Vegas.
Robbie, tell me a little bit about the jump now. How'd you feel coming off? I noticed you hit dead center perfect on this thing.
Yeah, I did. I hit dead center. I landed just over, it was 198 feet to the down ramp, and I just cleared it by about a foot, but I wasn't full power tonight. I haven't been out here with any lights, and I had the glasses on, and it kind of gets blurred in the cold wind. You got to have the glasses on, so I wasn't at my best, but like I said, I got 5 years to go, and to keep the name Knievel the most famous on two wheels, and that's what I plan to do.
Robbie Knievel,
you two girls aren't jumping.
Congratulations. We're going to take a final break. More in a moment.
Thank you.
You gotta love it.
The skull bone's connected to the neck bone. The neck bone's connected to the backbone. The backbone's connected to the crotch bone. The wrist bone's connected to the hand bone. The hand bone's connected to the toucan. That's how you slam it down. The hand bone's connected to the toucan. And that's how you slam it down.
My mom needed money, and
Meet the son who did not send the money Western Union.
she had to hitchhike across 3 counties. Took 2 pickups and an 18-wheeler.
And the heartbreak it caused.
Oh, son!
Later tonight.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
New Hot Pockets Pizza Minis. The crispy mini with big pizza taste. Hot Pockets Pizza Mini. Have a real crispy, real pizza taste right from the microwave. Hot Pockets Pizza Mini. The crispy microwave mini with big pizza taste.
Daryl Allen was looking to change his luck.
You ain't going back into the game.
I got me some other plans now. But bad luck always had a way of finding him first.
All of a sudden, I'm getting chased and shot at every time I turn around. I ain't going out like no punk.
Caught Up, rated R, starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
They tried our refreshing blue flavor. They tried our minty green flavor. Then we told them both we're Listerine. Cool Mint and Fresh Burst Listerine. All of Listerine's germ-killing power with great taste.
Clogged sinuses.
Pressure. Hey.
I'll take something. Now I'm groggy, disconnected.
Medicine Head. Should have taken Sudafed.
Sudafed Sinus relieves pain and pressure without drowsiness. Sudafed, for a clear head, not medicine head.
Thursday, the forecast calls for thunder, possible precipitation, and flurries of stupidity.
Check that out.
A special World's Funniest. Then, the world's best stunt performers. The worst stunt disasters. An all-new special When Stunts Go Bad 2, right after the World's Funniest, Thursday on Fox.
I'm Jerry Springer, and I'm fighting man.
And now he's hosting Mad TV.
Somebody doesn't start throwing punches, the old lady gets it.
Don't miss an outrageous new episode late night Saturday.
I did not rape you.
A powerful new 90210, Wednesday. Bailey's been sober 9 months, but that could change.
Just take one.
In 1 instant.
You can handle it.
An all-new Party of 5, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central.
And welcome back to the Tropicana Resort and Casino. Joe Buck, Robbie Knievel, Ron Pitts. Robbie, congratulations. Thanks for a wonderful night.
Thank you.
He sets the world record for the limousine jump, and congratulations to all of our other stuntmen on a wonderful night. For all of us at Fox, good evening.
Why in the world do you want to be with someone like that?
Starring. Hey, wait a minute. What's going on?
This Chopper 1, I'm seeing unidentified flying objects.
Hey, what are you doing? We're on the air.
Someone needs to tell them that.
Jeff, relax. Agent J is in the building.